What's going on, everybody? It's another Tuesday evening. Y'all know what it's time for. Talk some wrestling. I got my guy. We got to guard the three. Brett, what is going on, man?
Oh, not much. You know how it is. I'm always happy to, be talking some wrestling. Looking forward to it.
A lot of stuff has happened post WrestleMania. We didn't had the WrestleMania after we had the SmackDown after Mania. A lot of things went on. A lot of things went down. Got a lot to talk about. Got some let's see what life after Roman Reigns is until he returns. But let's start with SmackDown. SmackDown started off with Paul Heyman, Solo, and Jimmy. And they used to going into the big locker room, and they couldn't go to the big locker room because well, that locker room isn't occupied for them anymore. It's meant for Cody Rhodes. So with them seeing Cody Rhodes' sticker on there, and then you seen Kevin Owens come by, and was like, "Oh, this ain't for you. It's reserved for Cody." So Paul Heyman proceeds to say, "Well, that's what happens when you lose, but we got to get back on top." Per Roman Reigns, per the Tribal Chief, they go to the ring, and you seen Solo, said stuff, okay. About time they started to get Solo involved in things. But we all seen the rumors. Joseph Fatu is signed to the WWE. But when was he going to make his return? Was SmackDown going to be his return? Not just yet. But one, Tammy Tonga. Y'all don't know who that is. Big guy over in New Japan. And no, he is not related to them. That's the one guy who's not bloodline related, but they stuck him in the bloodline anyway. Of course, they had to kick Jimmy out because he lost. He's been losing. Jimmy's just there to get beat up on. Heyman didn't know what to do. He was totally shocked. So what do you think about the bloodline now that Solo is, I guess, taking over?
I think it's great. I think it's awesome. It adds a new layer to the Bloodline story that we kind of thought that might be dead after WrestleMania. Gives a whole new take, and I think a Bloodline Civil War with Solo is going to be awesome, especially since it gives Roman Reigns a target when he comes back. That isn't Cody Rhodes.
So it's just Solo and Tunga for right now. Do you think somebody else may get added to the mix?
Yeah, I think you add like Fatu to the mix. You add, or I can't remember his name, but I know Tonga had a partner that he was really good with. But yeah, I think you add one more person to the mix because I think the end game you go, a big 6-man tag, the day one bloodline with Roman and the Usos against the new bloodline with Solo, Tonga, and whoever else they add. And I know a lot of people were throwing out the idea, and I think it's an awesome idea, but I know it won't happen. Of oh, let's add The Rock into the match. Let's add Sami Zayn into the match. And as much as I would love to see The Rock maybe hop into this Bloodline Civil War, I definitely don't think we see him till WrestleMania.
They didn't say how long he was going to be going for because he's going to film a movie. Is it the summertime? I don't know if he'll be back in time. Maybe Survivor Series. I can see a Bloodline War Games. That would be awesome. Uh, the draft is getting shook. The draft is coming in about 2 weeks, so things are about to get shook up. Um, do the Bloodline stay on SmackDown or do you move them to Raw?
Probably just keep him on SmackDown, honestly. I
Makes
mean,
sense, but I think they'll add the J to SmackDown because this gives them opportunity to put the Usos back together. Even though I like Jay's main event, his solo run, but Jimmy gotta have something to do, and he needs his brother. We seen that match against WrestleMania, and that was just god awful.
yeah, no, I agree. I think you move him, just move move Jay to SmackDown, and Yeah, maybe even have Solo and the new Bloodline come out and cost him his world title match against Damian Priest. Because you
Mm,
know Damian Priest isn't going to lose to Jey Uso at the next
right, right,
pay-per-view,
right, right.
but I think that's a great way to, maybe have the Bloodline get involved, take out Uso, and then there you have your easy transition to the next phase of that story.
Um, on Roman's side, when Roman come back, I believe it's going to be Roman, Jimmy, and Jay. Maybe we see. I think Joseph Fatu is going to go with Solo. He's going to be like their enforcer person. But then it's other operas. Then none other person who can be on the Roman side. Could it be Zilla? I don't know who Zilla is. That's Umanga's son, who looks a splitting image of him. He was over there with the Booker. I forget where he was at, but him and Booker T didn't see eye to eye with some things. It's possible he could come over. Lance, that's another brother or cousin or whatever. It's possible that he can come. There's so many pieces that you can add to this. I still think Rock is going to be in it somehow. I think Rock was given Solo the go ahead, like to do this, because he's the final boss, and I think he was getting instructions from The Rock.
Yeah, I mean, the Bloodline and Roman have enough cousins and like nephews. They could just have their own Bloodline battle royal if they really wanted to, but it'll be interesting to see where they go. If you're gonna bring in The Rock or somebody like that and add a fourth person to Team Solo, I think the only right answer for a fourth person to Roman and the Usos is the honorary Us. It's Sami Zayn because that makes sense. He was a part of the original Bloodline, so I think it'd make for a fun story to watch Roman try to get Sammy's trust back to join him for War Games or a big 8-man tag. And even if it's just short term, let's get the band back together.
I don't know if I want Sami Zayn, but that would be hilarious. He's feeling oozy. He's feeling oozy. Um, I don't know. That would be hilarious. But we'll see if they add Sammy. I don't know if they add Sammy. He got his Intercontinental title to run, but I don't know. We'll see. Sami Zayn would be fun. But any of the brothers or the cousins or whoever are signed, possibly we might see someone this Friday. Got a feeling somebody else might get called up. SmackDown. What else happened on SmackDown? From the Bloodline. I don't remember what else happened on SmackDown.
Say,
Um, Give me a second. Let me look.
say Rikishi's gonna join in and he's gonna do it for The Rock.
Oh my God, not Rikishi. He's gonna do the dance. Smack it down. Recap. Again, we saw Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. I believe Cody Rhodes made his first appearance as champion. Bayley made her first appearance. So we had Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. And whoever won that gets to go at Bayley. Now, Naomi ended up winning. But then you got two faces going up against each other. Is Naomi going to go heel in this? Or are you just going to have... I don't know about this match. But Bayley's going to fight Naomi for the women's championship. Your thoughts on this match? Do Naomi go heel? Do she stay face? Is Bayley going heel? Like,
If anybody goes heel, it would have to be Naomi because I doubt they would pull like a big show on Bailey and have her turn face, have her go heel, and then have her just flip flop like that. Honestly, I just think it's a good old fashioned, face versus face matchup. I don't see either one of them turning. I do think that maybe it was the wrong winner. I do like Tiffany Stratton in this spot. I'm not saying that Naomi won't put on a good match.
mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a great match. I just think it's a Tiffy time, and we should absolutely have went that direction. But still, a couple weeks to the pay per view, maybe it turns into a triple threat. But I really have no beef with this one. I think it's just going to be it's going to be a fun match, and Bailey's going to have a great first title defense.
Yeah, especially they're really not pushing anybody right now, knowing that the draft is coming up and things that are about to get shook up. So that's why you saw Cody on Raw. He don't have nothing to do right now. Like, just let him be great. let him get the backlash going, and then after that, that's when you get the shakeups and the new storylines, and everybody's going to be on their show. So we did see the triple. We had two triple threat matches. Whoever wins this goes will be Cody's number one contender. We have Bobby Lashley versus LA Knight versus Santos Escobar, and we all know who won this. And everybody says LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So LA Knight wins this match. We did see the Street Profits get involved because AOP got involved. See some high flying spots by Montez Ford as usual. So LA Knight gets the win here. Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, and Rey Mysterio. This was another good match here. AJ Styles wins this match. So next week, so Friday, we will get LA Knight and AJ Styles yet again. The winner gets to fight Cody. I think after this, that feud may be over. So who goes up against Cody?
I think this is an easy one. I think you go AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles is going to give you the better match. AJ Styles has a brand new character. And I think AJ Styles is a lot less affected by a loss than LA Knight is at this point. I think you're going to build LA Knight up for, Logan Paul at SummerSlam. So give me it's a tough one, but give me AJ Styles cheating to win to keep LA Knight looking strong.
Yeah, I think AJ wins this one too. Don't know when AJ's going to end up saying, he retires. AJ then did everything possible down to TNA. He never went to NXT, went right to the main roster. Um, Great wrestler. If y'all followed him back in the TNA days, New Japan, all that stuff. AJ, but he said he wakes up every day hurting. So we don't know when AJ's going to say, okay, I think this is it. Why not give him a last push for a little bit? I mean, but Cody did say he never fought AJ. He wanted to fight him. So this might be a good match.
I think it will be at this point. AJ Styles can get a good match out of anybody. If you can't have a good match with AJ Styles, then that's an issue. That says a lot about you as a performer at that point.
Right. See, we had those three matches. AJ Styles and uh Tiffany Stratton. So you had Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. I believe Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair is going to be the women's tag team for right now. They might even push them into them nut behind titles. Goodness grief. Do you see them putting the gold on them?
Yeah, absolutely. You'd probably have them win the gold for a little bit, just dominate for a while until Jade's ready to branch off as a single superstar, and whatever team that beats them makes them look like $1 million.
Right. So I don't know what their name should be, or do they give them a name? I don't know, but of
I,
course
I
Jade
oh,
and Bianca is going to be a good tag team.
we can just steal a Chris's name from last week, Team Cocoa Butter.
Team Cocoa Butter. I can't. So that's what happened on the SmackDown. Now Raw, we had some unfortunate bad news. Rhea Ripley did have to relinquish her title because she is hurt. Saying AC sprained 4 to 6 weeks. Now I've been hearing this was a work. Um, she's not legitimately. She's not legit hurt. She needed a break, but why give her a break if her momentum is so high? That's why I think she's really injured. Your thoughts on this whole Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan on her revenge tour?
No, it's definitely a real injury. They wouldn't just randomly have her drop the title and give her a break after, especially after, because if she was taking a break after WrestleMania, Becky Lynch beats her,
Right.
or they would find another way to get the title off her. But I think there's zero chance that this is anything but a legitimate injury, and it's really unfortunate. I was really looking forward to her versus Liv. It was going to be a great one, and now we're going to have to wait a couple months for it.
That's fine. Take my money. Still take my money because she's gonna. We may not know what Liv Morgan looks like after this match is over because the way she's gonna go in on her, which will be added much more heat. So the injury happened. when they were backstage and Liv threw that chair at her. But I think the injury happened when she threw her against the wall. I think that's where that injury happened at. Still, how do you just throw a chair at somebody? She hummed it out that chair. Like, I mean, it could have went bad. That segment could have went way worse than it was.
Yeah, you could. It definitely could have. Thankfully, clearly she put her hand up to block it. She saw the chair coming. So overall, I thought it was really well done. I genuinely think it was just a freak accident of, like you said, when she got thrown into the wall, it might have sprained, or overall just an unfortunate freak accident. Because I liked it. I thought it was really well done, and then this came out. I'm like, oh, maybe it wasn't so well done as I thought.
Right. Right. So Liv Morgan, she had to. I mean, Rhea put the belt down. The crowd was saying this is BS. Um, she was highly upset, and then Liv Morgan comes out and laughs. I'm like, oh no! I said she wants to sign a death wish. She wants to sign a death wish. But Adam Pearce did say next week we're getting a champ. Why so early though?
That's a really good question. It does feel a little rushed, but I guess they really want a champion going into the brand split. So that's probably it. They probably just want an actual like champ for the split, and then we'll see where they go after. Maybe they just have a transitional champion for a while before they move on to somebody else.
Right. So with no Becky Lynch and no Rhea Ripley, who do you go to and what do you do here? So you have to find that superstar who can carry Raw for a while until Rhea comes back. Don't give it to Liv Morgan. God, please no. No, no, no.
I,
Do
I hate
not
to,
let her win that title.
I hate to say it, but the answer probably is Liv Morgan. She's probably
No.
gonna be the one to win it.
Give it to Nia Jax for all I care. I regret. Look, give it to look. If Charlotte was here, Charlotte will win it, but she ain't cleared yet. So why not Nia Jax? And I don't want Liv Morgan to be a champion. Oh, her title reign was so stale. It, it was bad. It was bad. I don't see who else you give it to. No, not Liv Morgan. Look, Nia Jax came back and she's actually been working. She lost some weight. She's not injuring people. Her mic skills got better. Why not throw it on her? I would.
I think at the end of the day, the only one they've built up recently is Liv, and then Becky. Well, maybe Becky. Well, Becky's going to be on the European tour in 2 days. She posted that, so maybe Becky surprises everybody and wins the title. Or, but oh yeah, overall, there's very limited people they built up, and half of them are on SmackDown with Jade, Bianca, Naomi, and then obviously Becky may or may not be taking time off, but I think she confirmed today she's going to be in the Europe tour, so maybe that's the answer right there. Maybe Becky just wins the title.
Dude, well, no, I can't say do they move Tiffany over and let her win it. That'd definitely be interesting. Again, I hopefully when they get to the draft, they stick to it. Don't have people running back and forth unless you're like a wild card or you didn't get picked up. But some fresh feuds. I still don't think there's enough tag teams to get split up, in my opinion, the belts. But it's neither here or there. Speaking of tag team, crazy segment with R-Truth and The Miz and Adam Pearce and Triple H. So they
Don't you mean
revealed
Tommaso
new
Ciampa?
they revealed new tag team titles, which don't look bad. It looks like they're trying to transition all the belts to gold. So the tag team champs has new belts and they're all gold, red and gold, which are not bad. Freaking R-Truth gonna call Triple H a magician. And then when R-Truth, and then when Miz says Triple H, it's like, no, it ain't. I'm like, oh my god. Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
I mean those belts look much better than the old ones, so I love it. I love that they're redoing all the belts and upgrading them. I think it's long overdue, and we'll see what belts become new next. I'm looking forward to it.
That means SmackDown gonna get new ones. Um, I know NXT is getting a secondary women's belt. I think the main roster needs like a women's intercontinental. I don't know if it was real or not, but I've actually seen the belt, and that belt is fire. Like I said, I don't know if they're actually going to do this, but it was the white, looking like the white Intercontinental title, but except it was just it had women's on it, and it was gold.
Just retire the tag titles and make a women's intercontinental title.
There you go. That we don't need those tag type. We don't need the women's tag. We don't need them. Um, Sheamus returns. Sheamus and Ivar go at it, and it looks like Sheamus kind of packed on a little bit of pounds. He don't look like the same cut Sheamus as he looked before. I know he had a neck injury. That's why he was out for so long. But what do you think of Sheamus returning?
I think it's fantastic, especially since he brought back his old theme song. That's the part that got me hyped. He came in, he beat Ivar right away, which is great. I think he looked great. I think he's just got to, he's going to keep working. He didn't really look like he was breaking a sweat after the match, so I wouldn't worry too much about whatever weight issues everybody thinks he has, but I'm just excited he brought back the old theme.
Yeah, he's still pale. He still ain't getting no color, but he don't got the mohawk. He back to the regular hair. Good to see Sheamus. He'll probably be in that Intercontinental title race because knowing he hasn't, that's the only title he hasn't won. So I can see that. Uh, Sheamus should be the one to beat Sammy at the end of the day, in my opinion. And then that's probably when he goes heel. But they'll keep him face for a while. Sheamus is good either way, face or heel. Um, so I think Sheamus will be the one to take it off of Sammy eventually. You got some good mid carders there: Ricochet, Bronson Reed. Do you put Gunther in the title contention? Um, so it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people in the Intercontinental title race. And here's Chris, and he's fat now. Not Austin Powers getting my belly fat, but he, you can tell he's picked up a few pounds. Um, so I'm not sure if he was working out or anything during his time out. But again, neck injury, I know it's bad, so he's gonna need to do so much. But I think Sheamus will be fine and back in shape how he usually is. You still can see his abs under there. So we had Kaden Carter and Katana Chance versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Nobody cared about that match. Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree.
Green. Sorry, I had to.
Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. And it looks like Indy Hartwell was on the same boat as Candice LeRae. So she finally turned heel with Candice LeRae. You had Andrade and Dominic. We all knew Dominic wasn't going to win this match. But before that, oh no, Zion got hurt. Sorry. 40 points and he gets hurt. So after Judgment Day, after Rhea, went back to got her title relinquished, she went to the back, she told the Judgment Day to hold it down. And just by the look of Finn's face, I don't think this Judgment Day is going to be around too much longer. Your thoughts on the breakup?
I think it is inevitable now. I think that they'll be broken up by the time Rhea gets back and let her go on her own. I think that Damian Priest is going to be the first to leave the group because he didn't look like he was on board, jumping people. So at the end of the day, it was a great run. But yeah, I don't see them being around in 3 months when Rhea comes back.
She gonna be like, "What the hell happened?" Oh well. So I gotta go on my own now. Dom. It's possible he can go with Santos.
Yeah, I could see it. Go with Santos for a while, and if you really want, maybe he can, pair back up with Rhea when she's ready in a couple months.
And maybe it's time to see JD McDonough on his own to see what he can do. He's not a bad wrestler. He got an okay finisher. His finisher ain't bad. I don't know what he call it, but his finisher isn't that bad. And of course, Finn, I would love to see him get another belt. It just sucks when he lost the belt for no reason. He got hurt and he never got it back. That's the only thing I didn't like. It's time for Finn to have something.
Yeah, what's JD gonna do after? Lose every match. I have no hopes for JD McDonough. I don't think they see very highly in him. But I agree. I want to see Finn with another title. That would be sweet. I was just watching some old Finn Balor matches today. I was like, man, I really hope he gets one more at least.
Ha. So it's funny because Rumble Remix, we came in right at when they was doing Finn's theme song, and that part came on. I was like, oh, I missed this theme song. Whole crowd lit. It was dope. But it's time for it is time for Finn to get a run with something in continental US, wherever you decide to put him. You had Jay Uso go against Finn Balor. We all know Jay Uso won that match, and then they jumped him at the end, and then who came out and saved him? Didn't Sammy come out and save him? Somebody came out and saved him.
No, well, because Jay escaped through the crowd and
That's right. Jay escaped through the crowd, and
led to the coolest entrance we've seen in a while with Sammy.
they was in Montreal. He came through the crowd. I mean, it was lit. It was lit. Came through the concession stand. I know they was like, oh now we get to see Sammy too. We already saw Jay um come out. So also that was really it. Dominic. So ain't really nothing happened on Raw. It's Sami Zayn and Chad Gable for the Intercontinental. Sami Zayn wins the match, but Chad Gable turns heel, which I seen that coming.
Yeah, me too. And I think they're going to have an absolute banger at Backlash in France. That's going to be sweet.
Backlash is in France. Oh, 4-point game. Like 30 something seconds left. Um, it's definitely going to be a good match. Sami Zayn is going to hold that title for a while. They're going to make it, the prestige Intercontinental title championship as it should be. Especially when the World Championship isn't really being when it's not being defended. So Intercontinental is like your secondary belt. So you definitely need the secondary belt to be top notch. So Sami Zayn is going to have that for a while. Who do you think beats him? Well, we said Sheamus. Do you see Gable possibly beating him, or do you think it's going to be Sheamus next?
See, I think that you have Sheamus beat Sammy maybe at Clash at the Castle. Give him the feel good moment.
Right. Sheamus would have to turn heel because Sami Zayn is the face of that. So we get a Sheamus heel turn. Now we getting all of the Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy, Rendus, and messing up TVs. I don't know what the hell this last clue was about. Yeah, don't get me the lion when I say I don't know what that was. But it looks like they're trying to get the family back. Do you think this will work? I know they wanted to bring Uncle Howdy back. I know Bray's brother wants to continue this. So do you? How long do you think this will last? I know Braun will be back. They got Rowan back. Alexa Bliss will probably be in the mix, and then you got Uncle Howdy.
No, I think it'll be awesome. I think it'll last a while. I'm a big fan. See?
Oh snap! Uncle
But
Howdy back.
yeah, I think it'll last a while. It'll be awesome. I'm really looking forward to whatever comes next with Uncle Howdy. He's gonna have tons of fan support, that's for sure. Like he's gonna be over like we haven't seen in forever, and I'm really interested to see where it goes. I'm excited to see who rounds out the family there. I'm guessing Alexa Bliss. Eric Rowan apparently said he signed a contract with somebody, and he was going to Pittsburgh, and that's where WWE get their medicals done. So maybe Rowan. So it's going to be really interesting, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Uncle Howdy and who they bring in to be with him.
And it's funny because I want to call him Bo because he don't look like a Taylor to me, and it's so weird calling him Taylor. So I'm going to call him Bo, and he kind of talks like Bray too.
No, absolutely.
So they kind of sound alike. So it's should be fun. Just hopefully he lands some spots because that last time he went on the top, he completely missed and landed on the table. He completely missed. But I think the Wyatt the family. I don't know what they're going to call it. The right four, or I'm sure they'll probably think of some cool name to represent Bray and the family. So that's definitely going to be interesting. See Braun come back, and you got Eric Rowan, and to see Alexa Bliss. Ever since she coming back from maternity leave, I know she's on her way coming in too. So, but did you know what that last clue meant? Did you see the last clue?
Was it the one that said you forgot about us?
No, it was something else.
Actually, I did not. The last one I saw was the you forgot about us.
And then apparently, Matt Hardy actually this.
I'll have to look into that because the one thing I love about these clues is they're always it's so detailed. So I'm definitely gonna have to look into that.
So you definitely see the shadow of a bird. So yeah, that's yeah.
I'm praying that Matt Hardy's not involved in any of this.
Oh God.
Like Mo just said it perfectly. Honestly, Matt can
What's up,
hardly
Mo?
move. Like, why do I want to watch premium TV and just watch Matt Hardy hobble around? Like, listen, I love Matt Hardy. I'm a big fan of his, and I thank everything that he's done for the business and the industry. He was great. I loved him. But in the year 2024, no, I'm good. I'm good on that.
Yeah, no, I don't need to see definitely don't need to see Agent Matt Hardy nor Jeff. I don't need nobody to have no heart attacks or nothing. While while they're fighting. So no, that's gonna be a no for me. Definitely gonna be a no for me. The bloodline, we already talked about that. Uh Said the women's title. I said that Nia Jax. You said Liv Morgan. God no. Um
Key,
I
I
have something
got
else
a,
then.
that's it. Key, I got a question for you. Let me flip the script on you. I'm sure you saw the video. They did it. They aired the CM Punk and Jack Perry footage from the Brawl Out. Do you have any thoughts on that?
For what for? What was the point of that?
They were
For
trying to use it. So the purpose of it was the Young Bucks showed it and said that FTR showed that it set that whole fight up intentionally to distract the Young Bucks so they'd be off their game when they wrestled them in Wembley. It was the biggest leap I think I've seen in a while in logic.
it made no sense to me. That whole footage made no sense. You made CM Punk look like a genius and a god because all he did was tell the truth, exactly what happened. He told the truth. He went down T for T what he did and what happened, and then he rolled out.
Yeah, that part killed me because I'm like, what did you accomplish with the segment? Like now CM Punk's trending. Way to get CM Punk over. He hasn't worked for your company in 8 months. They're hijacking the Young Bucks and Okada jumping Pac segment was now CM Punk chance. Like, who is this for? And I had some AEW, truthers in my comment section because I did make a video about this. And they were like, oh, they wanted to show that CM Punk was the aggressor. Like,
Well, CM Punk said he was the aggressor. He said he had him first.
yeah, it was just like this doesn't prove anything. Like, if you don't show the video, then more people are probably siding with you, thinking CM Punk's just being hard to deal with, like his reputation. But showing it now he looks like a genius. Now Tony Khan just looks stupid. Which
Very.
yeah, because apparently even the Young Bucks didn't wanted to move on and didn't want to show it, but they were willing to do whatever the boss wanted, and Tony Khan made the call to go ahead and show this on Wednesday.
It's still stupid. It's each time I see AEW events and you see the crowd less and less each time. I don't know. It's just When I went the first time I saw AEW, I mean it was packed, it was entertaining, it was fun. This last time I went, I told y'all it was boring. I was bored. No Adam Cole, no MJF. Don't know when he's coming back, so it's just like, No, I mean Swerve. It's time for Swerve to have a title. Um,
I think AEW, like, they're great when they focus on their own stuff. Like, they were great at the beginning of the year. Like, Revolution, the pay per view, awesome. Continental Classic, awesome. I think the real thing they got to work on is just, putting good stories behind their matches because they throw out a lot of great matches. But if there's not a great story to back it up, I mean, who really cares? Like,
um,
there's like probably a handful of matches that were better than, for example, that you could probably argue that were better than half the matches at WrestleMania, including like the Bloodline rules. But because of the whole story and build up behind these matches, they all rank higher in a lot of people's mind. They mean more. So I think that's something that I want to see AEW work on is work on the story behind these matches, make these matches mean more, and then more people will get invested, and then more people over time will tune in.
Definitely, I agree with that. Oh, um, it's just Tony needs to be more of a boss than everybody's friend. I think Hook might jump ship and come over to WWE. Um, Taz's son, I don't, I think he'll be all right. I mean, I don't blame him for leaving. um, at least if he came over with WWE, at least he'll be used right. Maybe stick him in NXT for a while. I can see that. NXT got some young guys. They had a 19-year-old kid fight Dragunov tonight on NXT. I forget his name. He
Yeah,
de- he debuted last week. So I mean, if Hook does get signed over, I can see him going to NXT.
hey, Hook and Dragonov would be incredible.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hook would be a great addition to WWE. It'd be a lot of fun. He's definitely growing as a character. He's slowly, you can see the improvements going along. Obviously he can learn from his dad. He can learn a lot from Taz, and you can see he's starting to pick up on it more and more. So he's got a bright future, and the sky's the limit for him, honestly.
Um. Right. So I know it's just not the. It's definitely not the same no more. Like I feel like they don't know what to do with Britt Baker. Haven't seen her on TV. If she even still signed with the company?
Yeah, she just hasn't been around in forever.
That's sad. Keith Lee, you might as well just come on back home, Keith. You might as well uh just come on. Just come on back home. Hate to use you right. The big beefy guys going up against the big beefy guys, getting the big beefy matches. So what do you think about Ivar? I know Ivar is on NXT and Raw only because his teammate is hurt. So they got him doing singles, which isn't bad. But I would like for him to stick with a persona. Either you gonna be in the word paint or you're not gonna be in the word paint. He looks weird without it, but I like him without it though.
Yeah, I think he's putting on some awesome matches. I personally enjoy the war paint. I always enjoy little things like that make it stick out more. And it's funny because I saw people complaining about Ivar because he lost to Sheamus, and they'll be like, "This is who we're supposed to be take seriously in NXT." And to me, it almost makes sense though that Ivar can lose on Raw and still be taken serious on NXT because Raw is where all the really really good trained professionals. That's where they all are, like the best of the best. NXT is technically developmental, so they're like they should still be developing and technically a step down from Raw. I'm not saying that the guys in NXT are bad, but technically those should be your young rookies who will make rookie mistakes and are still developing. So overall, I like Ivar's presentation. I think he's doing well for himself, and I just wanted to address that complaint because I thought it was weird. Like, yeah, you can lose a couple times on Raw, but when you go down a level to NXT, which by the way I don't think is a downgrade at all, but
Mm-mm.
like you can still go down to and still be competitive against. I don't even want to say lesser competition, but I think you know what I mean at this point.
So the draft is getting shook up. Who do you see get call ups from NXT?
Oh, let's see. I think Mello.
Yep,
I
definitely
really
Melo
want to
moved
say
up.
at this point. I almost want to say just bring up Trick too. Honestly,
Dragunov, another one. I think he'll get. I think he'll lose his title and get moved up.
yeah, I think that makes sense. And then obviously on the women's side, you can bring up Roxanne Perez, and then I think he's going to spend more time down there. But a wild card maybe Oba Fett. Did
Who
I
is
say
it?
did I say his name right? Shoot, NXT, the North American champion.
Oh, Obafemi.
Obafemi. I said Obafet. I was thinking Star Wars. Yeah, I think he's a wild card. I think he stays down in NXT a little longer, but I would not be surprised if they get a little too excited and call him up right away.
Right. No, definitely. Obafemi is a just watching that stand and deliver match. That man is huge. Like he's tough. He's powerful. Um, I guess maybe Tony D moves up. The Angel family, maybe he moves up.
I I would absolutely love that. They are probably my favorite wrestlers in NXT. Well, them and Ilya Dragunov. But I love Tony D'Angelo. I think he's got a great character. His presentation's completely unique. It's not something we see, so I think he'd be great for the main roster, but I kind of want to see him win the NXT title first.
Definitely. Trick, does he move up? I'm not sure. I mean, is he ready for the main stage? I mean, I think he is. Does he stay in NXT for a while? You can't have all of you can't have all of them move up. You still got to have some type of vets down there, to be that guy or girl in the locker room that the young ones need. Um, yeah,
I
so I mean, the draft should be interesting. Hopefully, does Cody stay on SmackDown or does he go to Raw?
think Cody just. I think Cody stays on SmackDown. Just keep Damian Priest on Raw. I think it's a good setup, and then I think that way. Honestly, I think you keep Cody on the same roster as the Bloodline because I'm sure they'll play into it when The Rock comes back. So honestly, just make life easier on everybody and just keep everybody together. Who's going to be involved in that story?
Yeah, so excited to see what the SmackDown titles are going to be. We get the AJ Styles versus LA Knight match Friday. Don't know what else is going to go on. Um, I'm sure they'll probably recap again. We'll probably see some Bloodline stuff. We might see a new member. We might. I think Jimmy's going to be off TV for a while after that beatdown. Maybe we get Tonga talking. Maybe we'll get Solo to say who delivered the orders. But Paul Heyman, what does he do in the meantime?
He probably just hangs around with the new Bloodline. Too scared to actually leave them or do anything because Solo will just beat the crap out of him. I think he'll end up just hanging around with the new Bloodline until Roman makes his eventual return, which who knows when. But
It might be, like I said, SummerSlam. I know they take long vacations and definitely can't say Roman needs it. It'd be different if he defended it every week. Then I can see you needing a vacation. But he was tribal chief and champ for over a thousand some odd days, so I understand. But we'll definitely see. The bloodline is going to be fun. It sucked you right back in just when you thought you was done with it. And you're like, no, not this. So the bloodline wins again by suckering everybody back in. Um, so Bailey, we said Naomi. I don't know if there's really going to be somebody has to turn heel on SmackDown besides Stratton to go up against Bailey.
I think that'll be what the draft is, for mostly. I think we'll get maybe a couple more heels drafted, maybe like Chelsea Green and Piper Niven go to SmackDown, or although yeah, just keep Chelsea Green wherever Samantha Irving is going. That's the
Chelsea
only request.
Green.
That is my only request with Chelsea. I need her to stay with Samantha because Mike Rome doing it would sound kind of
It
awkward.
was so weird hearing him on Thursday, and I'm just like, it's not the same. It's not the same. He no, you said it wrong. Um, but I don't know. It things about to be shook up. I know right now. I'm not saying it's stale, but storylines are starting to develop and to finish once the draft. Then we can go on our separate ways and be like, okay, this is what's happening. Cool, but
It really just feels like we're in a holding pattern right now. We're just waiting. Like, all right, well, we'll just throw out matches right now. We'll make what we got really intriguing, but at the end of the day, the draft is in a couple weeks. We won't, shake up anything too badly until then.
right. I think they're just putting things together. Still get quality show, but they just putting okay. You go here. You all two fight. Uh, so yeah, but uh, nothing really else. I know we went over nothing. We went over everything. Was there anything else we got to add?
Oh no, I don't think so. It's been definitely an interesting couple weeks. AEW Dynasty's on Sunday. That'll be a lot of fun. It's shaping up to be a great card. So everything is all right. Everything's going well in the world of wrestling. I like where it's at.
Except for Chris, he still don't like that Cody's champ, but but he likes Cody. That's the crazy part. He's a Cody fan, but he didn't want Roman to lose.
So if Chris was booking Roman's beating San Martino's record and retiring champ.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. He wants him to beat Hulk Hogan. But
I I didn't need that, honestly. I was cheering for Roman when I was there on that Sunday, but in the back of my head, I'm just like, there's just nowhere else to go if Roman actually does win.
exactly. Just like there's nothing left for him to do. He done everything. So, but there you have it, guys. Another line in the sands in the book every Tuesday. To break down everything that's going on in wrestling world. Hopefully, Chris will be back next week. I know he was having some internet issues, so he couldn't physically be on. But of course, we always got Brett here, holding down the fort here with me as well. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so got some shows lined up, I think. So tune in for that as always. Always catch Brett and Mo on Thursdays for the And On podcast, where they will be breaking down everything NBA. It is NBA playoffs, so I'm sure they're going to be talking about the playoffs and picks, predictions, and everything else. So, any last words you got before we get on out of here?
Yeah, definitely tune in Thursday. It sounds like I'm guessing Mo and I are going to have a really spirited debate about the All NBA teams. We're disagreeing on Big Three, so I'm excited to sit down with them on Thursday and we'll talk it over some more.
Uh oh.
Um,
So, but until then, y'all, make sure y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Have a good work day tomorrow. It's the middle of the week. It's almost over. Hump day is here tomorrow. In the middle of the week is almost here. The weekend will be here sooner or later. So, on that note, we're going to get on out of here, guys. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of your evening.